So I have just gonna jump right into it. I have made a book, and this is let me explain. This is not a typical reading book that, you know, with loads of words in it. This is a book that I have had to create to do with my course. So as you know, I'm doing childcare level 3 second years, and you for one of our units, and we have to create a book. So we had to think of songs and nursery rhymes, 3 songs, 3 nursery rhymes for the ages of 0 to 1 year olds. And we had to make a book that is safe for the child, that also has sensory in it if we wanted to add it, the font that we had to use, and everything that's involved, and the amount of thinking I had to do to make this book is just unreal. So I'm going to show you the book, and I'm going to tell you the process of how I did it and what made me think of this idea. And then because these things in the book has things that is related to my childhood as well. So yeah, so this is the front of the book. It's probably backwards, but it says "Sing with me, rhymes and songs in sign language." So you have that, and then of course you have Justin Fletcher, or Mr. Tumble, and it has sign language of sing and me. And then when you open the book, it says hello in sign language. And then you have the first one, which is a song, I believe. So yeah, so we had to do 3 songs, 3 rhymes, as I said. And the first song I thought of was This Little Piggy. And you have the sign language of pig, you have the sign language of market, and you have the sign language of home. And then if you turn the page, you have another one. This is, I believe, a song. So of the song of It's Raining, It's Pouring. So you've got the lyrics here. And then you have the sign language of old. And then you have the sign language of man. And then you have the sign language of rain as well, which I thought was really good. So, and then on the next page you have 5 in the bed. And then you have the lyrics, you have a picture, you have a sign language of 5, you have the sign language of bed, roll. So yeah, we was told to just do like 2 sentences from the songs or rhyme, but I thought you might as well just incorporate the whole song as well. So yeah, if you want children to learn the song, you're gonna have to do the whole of the song, so the children learn the whole of the lyrics. So then you have the next one, which is 2 little Dicky birds. And then you have the sign language of 2, and you have the sign language of bird. So and then you have Round and Round the Garden. You have the sign language of tree. You have the sign language of bear. And you have the sign language of Tiggle. And then you have, there's a worm at the bottom of the garden. And you have the sign language of worm. You have the sign language of bottom. And you have the sign language of tree as well. And then at the end of the book, you have that says, "Thank you for signing with me." And then at the top you have a goodbye, and at the bottom you have a thank you inside. So yeah, so that is the book. You may be thinking anyone can make a book, but yeah, for me to make a book more or less all by myself with no help, which I didn't even think that I could do on my own, because when you make a book it's quite hard. So the reason why I wanted to incorporate sign language and I wanted to do these songs and rhymes is because I was brought up on sign language, because I was delayed speaker. So my mum enforced sign language for me, which helped me communicate, and that helped me get my voice across, and that helped me to communicate. But there's more information that I'm not going to say for the minute, because that's a whole other story and that's not related to this book. So yeah, so I used to watch Mr. Tumble all the time, and especially because I have a special needs brother, as you know, so we brought him up on a sign language as well when he was younger, before he was able to speak more fluently. So yeah, that was why I wanted to incorporate sign language, and the reason why I wanted to do those songs is because those are the songs that I was brought up on. So I didn't want to do any other songs. So I wanted to do something that was more the old-fashioned type. Well, not old-fashioned, but I want to say the early 2000s songs. So yeah. So this little piggy, as you know, is the one where you dot your fingers, and then at the end it's more or less of a tingle as well. So yeah, so this was just made of fun for when I was little, and yeah, I was brought up on these songs. And then you have It's Raining, It's Pouring. I mean, if you don't know these songs, then you can just Google it if you want to. And then you have Five in the Bed. Now, this Five in Bed, I had so much trouble of getting the original lyrics, because as you may know, the lyrics of Five in the Bed has changed more or less so much, and there's a bit that there's part of the songs that they have taken out of it, probably because it was too long for the children. So I have found the original version, and yeah, which I was so thankful that I found. Otherwise, would have had to type it up myself instead of finding the lyrics. Now, Two Little Dicky Birds, that is more or less used now times as well. But yeah, that was another one that I was brought up on. And then if I could turn the page, and then you have Round and Round the Garden. Now that is when you do it on your hand. So when you do it on their hand, you go round and round the garden like a teddy bear, 1 step, 2 step, and then you tingle them, and it's supposed to be like fun for them. So then you have There's Worm at the Bottom of the Garden, and I very rarely hear that song, and yeah, I just wanted to bring that song back. Yeah, so that is why I wanted to incorporate sign, and that is why I decided to do those lyrics. Now, everyone else in my class has made a sensory book, which is good, and but I just wanted to. I'm the only one in my class that has incorporated sign, and no one else in my class has incorporated sign. So yeah, these are laminated, so then it's hard for the children to peel off the paper. So yeah, I am really proud of this. So how I made it, now this had a lot of thought and a little bit of frustration when planning this book. So I kept changing my mind on what songs I wanted to do because I couldn't get the lyrics or I couldn't find them in sign language. And then so I just ended up picking 3 songs and 3 rhymes that I felt happy to do, and yeah, I just done them. So yeah, otherwise it would have been the typical Twinkle Twinkle of Stars, the Wheels on the Bus, yeah. And another thing, everyone else in my class is doing like more common songs that they use in schools and daycares, and I wanted to do something that you don't really hear that often, hence why it's unique. So yeah, when any activities of making anything, I want it to be unique and has like a bit of me in it, because sign language is my more or less strongest point. I don't know sign language fully, but I do understand like some of it. So yeah, so how I planned this is after I decided on what songs I wanted to do, I got a A3 card. I folded it in half, and then I made my front cover. So I cut it all out, and decided on where I wanted to place it before sticking it down. And then once I was happy, I just stuck it down. And then yeah, so then I got an A4, like 6 A4 papers, and I printed out all the lyrics, all the pictures, all the sign language that I needed, put it in the correct order that I wanted it to go in, put it into the right format that I wanted it to be in, then glued it down. And then once I had all 6, I laminated it, and yeah, I laminated it, and then I cut, because I had to use A3 laminating sheets because I didn't have A4, so I had to do 2 sheets on one A3 laminating sheet. So I had to cut that out in the middle, so it created from A3 to A4, and then I just hole punched it and then put ribbon on the sides. Now I didn't know whether to use ribbon or treasury tags, so I just thought to use ribbon, even though these are coming apart though, but that's okay. So yeah, and then after I put the ribbon on, I just created the back page, because I originally wasn't going to do a blank page. This was just going to be blank. So, and when I was coming to the end of making it, I'm thinking, what should I do? Because I wanted it to incorporate manners as well. So, and it's not very often you hear saying thank you for reading this book, or thank you for signing with me, so it's just a nice way of ending the story off. So you had the sign language of bye, and you had the sign language of thank you. So yeah, so that teaches children to how to say thank you as well, which I thought was really good. So yeah, this was my process of the book. I'm really, really pleased with it. Yes, I know I'm rabbiting on too much. I'm sorry. I am just so happy of the progress, and yeah, so I did want to document the whole of like preparing and all that. However, we was only allowed to make it at college. We could bring it home. The planning I didn't want to do, but we had to think of it by a certain point, and that was kind of a toughie of what I wanted to do. But yeah, so I'm going to stop talking now. We are making more things, I think. I think next week we are making something to do with maths, which might be a bit harder, but we'll see, and I'll get there. And then after when I made that, I will video it and I will share it to you. So yeah, I am happy with this, as I said, and yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this is quite an abnormal video that I would normally do, because I normally do like traveling and like going places, and I normally do other things as well. So yeah, so I just really wanted to show it, because when you're proud, you just want to tell everyone, and you just, yeah. So that's how I felt, and I wanted to tell you. So that is my book. And so yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Very abnormal, I know. But yeah, so I'll see you in the next video, and the next video will probably be when I've next made my next activity. But yeah, bye.